go. There's the coin toss brought to you by Georgia's own credit union. The Dogs win the toss. They defer. So it'll be Ole Miss on offense first, Georgia on defense. And Georgia's permanent captains have been announced, by the way. Drew Bobo is one of them. He's one of the permanent captains. He's out on the field on a scooter right now, along with Gunnar Stockton, C.J. Allen, and Kristen Miller. Let's go down to the sidelines, brought to you by attorney Ken Nugent. Here's DJ Shockley. Shock.
Fellas, it was one of the most spirited, I thought, pre-game locker rooms I've been a part of in a long time. This is a team that's excited. They're ready. You can tell the energy was ready to go. They couldn't wait to get out here to play. Now, the main theme for today, the Navy SEALs, they do a really cool thing. They make a call and they say, stand by to get some. And that's been the whole mantra they've had all year. Hey, when you get ready to call, you got to be ready to go. And that's what this team is saying. They're standing by, they're ready to go get some. And guess who got to go come get it? Ole Miss. Everybody's locked in. Last thing Coach Marsh said to his team was, I love you. You earned the right to be here. Now let's go show the country why we're the best team in the nation.
All right, Shock, it is time to tee it up here in the Sugar Bowl. Opening kick powered by Georgia Power. We're here for the win. Georgia Power is here for you. The Dogs in their red home uniforms. They're the higher-seeded team, so red jerseys, silver breeches, red helmets. Ole Miss as the lower-seeded team wearing the visiting white tops and bottoms, blue trim, blue numbers, and mostly white helmets. Peyton Woodring will kick it away when given clearance from left to right. We're back here inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth, high above the field, and watching tonight's festivities. Georgia football brought to you in part by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Why pay more for gels when Barbasol delivers an instant thick lather for a close, comfortable shave? Choose Barbasol, a quality shave and trusted value. Georgia will be kicking from left to right. Isaiah Hartrup, transfer from Southern Illinois, a senior from O'Fallon, Missouri, is the return man for Ole Miss, and he is actually a couple of yards deep in the end zone. So maybe a threat to run it out unless Peyton drills it over the back line. Here's our kick, and we are underway. A high hanging kick, end over end. Going to come down about 2 yards in the end zone. Hartrup walked up at the last second right on the goal line and just let it bounce over his head, and it hit on the spot where he was standing originally. Everett out between the numbers and the sideline. Tremendous play by Dalen Everett. Boy, what closing speed. He got over there in a hurry and denied Stribling the ability to catch that football. Incomplete, and brings up fourth down for the Rebels.
Boy, Dalen had pick six on his brain there. That you saw that play. That was read from film work and film study coming into this. Ole Miss moves the guy in motion. Two of our guys on the far side move up and press coverage as they move in. Dalen shoots through and almost undercuts that for an interception.
Ole Miss going to try a long field goal here, right at 56 yards. Would be a career long for Lucas Carnero. Kick is away towards the upright. He drilled it. Wow. 56-yarder puts Ole Miss on the board. He's jacked up with that one, and I don't blame him. 25 of 28 now kicking field goals for Ole Miss this season, and that was an extra long one by Lucas Carnero. So Ole Miss has the lead, 3-0 on the Dogs. First quarter with 5:47 to play in the opening frame. We've got a timeout here in the Sugar Bowl. Our first half tonight presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck, there's only one call, that's all. Call at football, but didn't see who got the piece of it to tip it up in the, it was 33, it was Q. Quintavious Johnson, that's his second then. That's his second PBU of the game, and now here's Ole Miss for another long field goal try. And this one from just about the same spot as the previous one. They'll spot this one on the 46, a 56-yard try, middle of the field, kicking left for Carnero. Ole Miss, snap, hold, kick is away, and let's watch it. And again, it is good. A couple of 50-yarders plus for Lucas Carnero, and Ole Miss adds to its lead. It's 6-0. Rebels lead. That one's a 56-yarder. He had a 55-yarder earlier in the quarter. Well, that guy's pounding it. He's preparing himself to play in the NFL, I would say.
That one was just as easy. I guarantee you there's a couple of NFL teams that would sign him for Sunday.
55 and 56 yards tonight. Carnero was 2 for 2 in their playoff win against Tulane, but on the left side of the field.
Yeah, it hurt his hand, Scott. Harrison Wallace checks out of the game, shaking his left hand.
Kind of taking the skin off his fingers. That ball had some go to it. 3rd and goal for the Rebels on the Georgia 3. Ball's on the far hash. Rebels trying to punch it into our right here in the Superdome. Lacey out to the left. Chambliss, shotgun snap, rolls to the right and throws it into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Rebels near the back line of the end zone with the catch. Falling down, Luke Haas from Arkansas, a transfer from Arkansas. Made the catch in the back part of the end zone. That's only his 3rd catch of the season and his 1st touchdown of the year. They're going to go for 2. Rebels up 12-7 now, and they'll try a 2-point conversion as the officials put the ball down on the 3-yard line between the hash marks. 2 receivers to each side for Ole Miss and 1 back in the backfield on the 2-point conversion try. Georgia brings 4. Chambliss will go down in a heap in the pocket. He never got out of the pocket, and we tackle him back at the 8-yard line. The 2-point conversion try fails, and the score remains Rebels 12, Georgia 6. Kristen Miller got to him first, and Quintavious Johnson also helped collapse that pocket for the Dogs on the extra point try, or the 2-point try. It's 27-yard line. Ole Miss folks getting loud across the way.
And man coverage on the right side on Colby Young.
3rd and 12 for the Dogs on the Ole Miss 27. Stockton pressured in the pocket, ducks and rolls to the right side. Man open in the flat. Cash Jones caught at the 22. Jones makes a man miss. 15, cuts inside at the 5, down to the 1-yard line. Cash money.
Or what ability from Gunnar Stockton. I know he got out of the pocket, extended the play, allowed his guy to make a play, but stood in the face and absolutely got smoked when he delivered this football.
26 yards on the gain, goal to go. Gunnar going to keep it. Drive in, touchdown right behind that big, massive offensive line. And Georgia back in the lead.
Hit me in the head and neck area. The next play, I want to call my own number and run it right up the gut. Atta boy, 14. That's why this team loves this kid as our quarterback, and so does Dog Nation.
And Cash Jones looks like he's been hanging out in the study room with Zachariah Branch after that last catch. Making men miss, changing direction, all the way down to the 1 to set up the score. And the Dogs are back in the lead, 13-12. And the point after try is on the way from Peyton Woodring. Kicking to our left. Snap, Gunnar holds, Peyton kicks between the pipes. It's good. 14-12, Dogs by 2 with 4:05 to go, second quarter. That Georgia touchdown brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Georgia Bulldogs. It's getting interesting now here and getting a little late in half number 1 in the All-State Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. 14-12, Dogs in the lead with 4:05 to play in the half and a timeout. Our first half tonight presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured? You know who to call. There's only one call. CallKen.com, the website. And he finally gets to the sideline and cuts upfield. And he's going to get the first down. He got 6 yards that time to the 36. Kejuan Lacey running well for the Rebels tonight. And why shouldn't he? He had almost 1,400 yards in the regular season plus the playoff game. And tonight, 11 carries, 61 yards for the second leading rusher in the SEC this season. First and 10 Rebels on their 36. They trail Georgia 14-12. Chambliss wants to fire, and he does. Caught on a falling down catch by Deuce Alexander, the sophomore from Douglasville, Georgia, at the 42-yard line. 6-yard pickup for the Rebels.
Well, Chambliss doesn't hold anything back on those quick slant throws.
2:49 and ticking. Time remaining here in the second quarter. Georgia with a 2-point lead. And a handoff to Lacey. Oh, foul ball came out. Georgia's going to pick it up. Dalen Everett going to take it to the house. 10-5, touchdown on a scoop and score. Elijah Griffin may have forced it out on the edge on Kewan Lacey. Ball came bouncing out, picked up in front of the Ole Miss sideline by Dalen Everett. He had a convoy and ran unimpeded into the end zone for the touchdown on the fumble recovery.
It was Elijah Griffin on the uppercut, coming around the backside of the tackle, swinging up at the ball, punches it out the top of Kewan Lacey. What a play.
Dogs 20, Ole Miss 12, point after on the way. That Georgia touchdown, the defensive variety, brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Georgia Bulldogs. We got a man late coming out for Georgia. Now Ole Miss will be given time to substitute with 6 seconds to go. They made Georgia, they're going to slow trot it off, and the play clock runs out. Ole Miss was in no hurry after Georgia had a late substitution.
Penalty. The try will be played.
And Georgia opted not to use a timeout on the extra point, and they're going to back us up 5 yards on the point after for a delay of game. That's the wise move, I think, although Kirby's not happy with his sideline right now because somebody was late out to get to the extra point team. So Peyton Woodring will try this one. Middle of the field, we back up 5 yards, kick it from the 16 between the hash marks, kicking left on the extra point try after the defensive score. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good. We can back him up 5 more and give that one a shot. Dogs 21, Ole Miss 12. Defensive score, first of the year for the Dogs. Dalen Everett picks up the fumble, the scoop, and the score as Everett returned it. How far was that fumble returned? Did anybody see that? Around 30 yards or so. We'll get it when we come back. 2:34 remaining in the half. Dogs 21, Ole Miss 12. First, and they work out of the shotgun with a half-hearted play fake. Chambliss, quick throw to the right to the tight end. Caught at the 42, veers in, tackled at the 35. Away from the sideline, Daquan Wright. And Ole Miss wants to go fast. They have no timeouts. 2, 1. They're not going to get the playoff. That's it. End of the half. They had no timeouts. They tried to run the hustle play, running the field goal unit onto the field, and the offense off with no timeouts. Wright did not get out of bounds. Probably a mistake there, I would think. And that's the end of the half. Ole Miss comes away empty-handed on that last possession.
A little ugly from the Dogs there. Not a great offensive possession. Then defensively with an error, getting the guy ejected. But nonetheless, no harm, no foul, right? No points were scored by either team heading into the half.
Ole Miss clearly frustrated as they exited the field. Much of the coaching staff not too happy with how that time management went at the end of the half. We'll catch up with Coach Kirby Smart for a couple of quick comments here before halftime. Our halftime interview is brought to you by Zaxby's. Who's got the sauce? Right now, Kirby talking with television. DJ Shockley waiting his turn down there on the field, and we'll get him before he goes into the locker room. But strong second quarter by the Bulldogs, both offensively and defensively. A couple of good-looking drives, 2 touchdowns by Gunner on the run, and then a defensive score as well. Dalen Everett scooping up a Kewan Lacey fumble and returning it to the house for 46 yards and a score. And the Dogs are up 21-12 here in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans as we go down to the field. DJ Shockley and the coach.
Coach, over 4 yards, close to 5 yards of rush, but offense playing well. What's been key to that? Big physical guys running the ball. We got to keep doing that, you know what I mean? And that's a big part of who we are, is running the rock, and we got to keep doing it. All right, ready to go.
All right, Shock, thank you very much.
And Wilson collided at the receiver there. Just a tremendous physical tackle from Ellis.
Ole Miss leaves the offense out there. 4th down, less than a yard on their own 49.5. Man in motion is Lacey. And they give it to Chambliss, and we pile him up behind the line of scrimmage. We've stopped them. Huge defensive play with 11:10 to go in the third quarter. The Dogs take over on downs at midfield.
It was a direct snap. Scott, direct snap. You had Chambliss and Lacey in the backfield. Direct snap straight to Lacey.
Griffin jammed up the hole. Raylan Wilson and Rayshawn Dinkins and K.J. Bolden made the stop. Ole Miss fails to convert on 4th and short. Timeout here, third quarter, 11, Georgia 44-yard line. Dogs defense moving around a little bit. They snap it. Here we come. Chambliss has time, though. Boy, he had a ton of time, and he completes the pass. Uh-oh, look out. Caught at the 30. Wallace spins away down inside the 20 at the 10 and tackled at the 8-yard line. Oh, Chambliss just had all day to throw, way too much time. We had absolutely zero pressure on him, and Ole Miss makes us pay.
We brought a backer blitz. C.J. Allen came in, but it was picked up nicely by Logan Diggs, and that, like you said, Scott, gave Trinidad all the time in the world to be able to stand and deliver that ball in the middle of the field to Wallace.
36-yard gain for Ole Miss. It's goal to go at the 8. 21-12. Elijah Griffin and Xavier McLeod, two of our linemen on the stop for Georgia. Ball's on the 7 between the hash marks. Ole Miss moving to our right. Trying to tighten this score up a little bit. They trail by 9. Second down and goal from the Georgia 7. Lacey to the left of Chambliss in the backfield. They send Alexander in motion to the left. Chambliss rides the back. Lacey finally takes it and angles his way just inside the right pylon for a touchdown of 7 yards. Untouched into the front right corner for the score for the Rebels to make it 21-18 at the moment. Chambliss held onto that ball. They were at the mesh point for a second or two, and then finally the quarterback let go, and Lacey took off running to the right corner, and they'd already cleared out the space with the receiver block on the right edge. It kind of pushed Dalen Everett back into the end zone, so it was clear sailing for Lacey. They're going to try the extra point.
It was clear sailing with a little bit of grabbing going on the right side. Kirby Smart very upset at these referees.
Point after try by Carnero is good, and it's a 2-point game. 21-19, Dogs lead Ole Miss. Rebels score a touchdown with 4:51 to go in the third quarter. Timeout here in New Orleans. Will Eccles got that one, 6'3", 310, sophomore defensive tackle. And here comes Georgia's punt unit, and the momentum is squarely on the side of the powder blue across the way.
I was wondering why Will Eccles was holding his head in his hands. Scott, that wasn't just a batted ball. He almost intercepted that at the line of scrimmage.
Dogs shift around their punt formation. They overload the left side, and they snap it to the up back and run a reverse with Roldan, and then throw it downfield to Lucky, the tight end. We faked the punt and caught a pass thrown by Landon Roldan. Lucky caught it at the 45-yard line. They tackle him at the 46. 17-yard gain. Fake punt. First down. Dogs keep the ball.
What a gutsy play call. What a throw by the true freshman Roldan to Lawson Lucky.
Biggest Scana Energy first down of the night so far. Let's see if they can cash in on it. Now momentum's starting to creep back on this side. Momentum is fickle, as you know.
Georgia in 13 personnel again. 3 tight ends, 1 back.
We're out. And it's just a long incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 for the Dogs from our 46 after we converted a fake punt. Play fake and a bootleg to the near side. Gunner. And he'll throw it to Colby. Caught at the 40. Colby to the 30. Upended at the 25. Diving forward to the 23-yard line. Colby Young. Welcome back, baby.
Welcome back, Colby Young. What another ad-lib play from Gunner Stockton. He pulled that ball down and was content with running it until the guy in the flat, the defender in the flat, came up to hit him. He just jumped past that to Colby Young on the near sideline.
Down back at the 19, so I guess he got back there. Eccles and Perkins, two of those talented Ole Miss defensive linemen defending and making the stop and bringing up 4th down and a field goal try for the Dogs.
Just couldn't provide enough protection for the routes downfield to develop. At number 5, Cam Franklin in Gunner Stockton's face again.
Gunner will hold the field goal try on the 27. 37-yard try, near hash kicking left for Peyton Woodring. Snap back, hold, kick on the way, and it is good. 37-yard try, good by Peyton Woodring. Georgia increases its lead to 24-19 with 30 seconds to go in the quarter. We'll keep it right here at the end of the third. 30 seconds to play. 24-19. The Dogs covered 56 yards on the scoring drive then in 10 plays and took 4:21 off the clock. Big play there to Colby Young on the pass play. And
At times staying patient. Actually sucks and baits the defender to come in and make contact with the offensive lineman. And as soon as he did, that's when he shot to the boundary to try to get to the edge.
2nd and goal from the Georgia 6. Ole Miss out of the shotgun, hands it to Lacey, runs straight ahead, and he'll break the plane, falling over the goal line for a touchdown. Right down the middle, nothing fancy about that, just following his blocking from his guards and his center. And he was being tackled as he fell across the goal line for the score. And Ole Miss up by a point now, 25-24. And will they go for 2 here?
Yeah, they are. They're sending their offense back out on the field. They're telling everybody to stay on, going for 2 here.
6-yard touchdown run by Lacey. Rebels will go for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, they got Logan Diggs in the backfield with Chambliss.
Lacey with his 2nd touchdown of the game. 23 now rushing touchdowns this season. They'll throw it into the back of the end zone. Chambliss backpedaling with Georgia pressure. And a tumbling catch on the back line of the end zone by Harrison Wallace is good for the 2-point try. He was running out of space back there, but caught it and was inbounds just inside the back line of the end zone to the right of the goalposts. 27-24 now. Ole Miss takes a 3-point lead. We've got a time here in the 4th quarter with 11:29 to go in the ball game. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. Ole Miss by 3 here in the Sugar Bowl on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
The right partner? Visit georgiapower.com/myenergy to learn more.
Back with you in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. And the big defensive lineman, Xavier Harris, slowly walked off the field with a trainer well under his armpit and to his side. He was flexing that right shoulder and right arm as he walked to the Rebel sideline, but apparently okay in that situation. Georgia has the punt team on. Now they run the punt team off and the offense back on 4th down and 2 from our 33-yard line. So Ole Miss substitutes quickly. Georgia substitutes. Gunnar Stockton empty set. 2 receivers left, and they snap it. We'll run the play. Gunnar going to be sacked back at the 25-yard line. Sacked from behind. Just a blitz by Centarian Perkins. And then he fumbled the football. Did he fumble it? Well, either way, it's going to be Ole Miss football.
By the defense, 1st down and 10.
Yeah, that was not intended to be snapped. That was a freeze play, and it was to be read if Ole Miss jumped off sides to see if they snapped the football. They did not jump off sides, but the redshirt freshman center, Malachi Tolliver, he snapped it no matter what. There was no play called right there. That was a freeze play.
Made the sweeping tackle there at the 13. Ole Miss 27, Georgia 24. Dogs went for it on 4th down. Chambliss will throw right corner for the end zone, and a back shoulder catch is made. Touchdown, front right corner, Harrison Wallace, who has absolutely killed Georgia tonight. That's his 9th catch of the game, his 1st touchdown, and Ole Miss extends the lead now with that touchdown reception.
Wallace has had an unbelievable night. Perfectly thrown back shoulder ball from Trinidad Chambliss. DeMello couldn't get his head around in time to try to make a play on the ball. The play was there. He just couldn't get his head around to try to make one.
The transfer from Penn State, leading receiver for Ole Miss this season coming into the game. He had 48 catches. As we said, he's got 9 tonight for 156 yards and now a touchdown of 13 yards. Point after try by Lucas Carnero. And the kick is up and through the uprights. Good. And Ole Miss has the lead. 34-24 over the Dogs. 10-point lead here with 9:02 to go in the fourth quarter. Well, it was a similar situation in Athens in the regular season, and the Dogs had to play one of their best fourth quarters of the season to rally for the win, but they came from behind and defeated Ole Miss 43-35. Snap back to Gunner. Time in the pocket. Will throw again, wide open. Zakovi White-Helton at the 21. He'll get a couple more, maybe 3 to the 18 before Wyatt Williams, the safety from Lake Providence, Louisiana, makes the tackle.
Gunner finally getting protection from his offensive line up front, opportunities to be able to work through his progressions, finds Zakovi in the middle of the field. That's 3 passes on this drive in the middle of the field already. Felt like it's been a while since we've seen those, Scott.
20 yards to the 18. Dogs are in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the Rebel 18. Ball's on the near hash. We bring the tight end Lucky to this side of the field. And Gunner will throw to the right side and incomplete at the 9 as Noah Thomas tried to make a spinning one-hand grab right on the sideline. But as he spun to the turf, he was not able to hang on to the football. It's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Dogs with 7:08 to play. 34-24. Rebels have outscored the Dogs 22-3 here in the second half and taken the lead. Georgia's offense back at it, coming down the field, working from the Ole Miss 18. Branch in motion to the left. Bowens in the backfield with Gunner. Snap back, here comes pressure. Gunner to throw, far corner, and falling down, and caught sitting on his pants and sliding into the left corner. Zachariah Branch with a touchdown.
Great throw, great catch. We've been talking poorly about the offensive line all night. They picked up the blitz that time. Great job communicating and passing it off up front, giving Gunner an opportunity to deliver that ball to Zach, and what a catch on his backside.
Great answer by Georgia's offense. 18-yard catch and throw, sliding on his backside on the far left edge of the end zone to make it 34-30. Here's the point after try by Peyton Woodring. Bo Gardner to snap it back, Gunner to hold it, and Peyton to kick it, and it's up and good. Wow, 34-31 is our new score in New Orleans. 7:03 to go. That Georgia touchdown brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Georgia Bulldogs. We've got a time here in the Sugar Bowl, so regroup yourself for the final 7:03 to play. It's Ole Miss 31. It's Ole Miss 34, Georgia 31. Our second half tonight is brought to you by not a real high percentage play under most circumstances. 3:13 on the clock, 34-31 Ole Miss in front. Georgia's offense stays on the field after the timeout. Cash Jones to the left of Gunner Stockton. They work out of the shotgun. Colby Young, receiver to the left, and 3 to the right. Gunner with time will throw, and it's caught by Branch at the Ole Miss 35. He found a little hole in the zone, and Gunner put it right in his pocket. 35-yard line of the Rebels.
A perfect throw from Gunner. Threw it over top of the linebacker and underneath the safety in the back. Zach Branch coming up big time again.
17 yards and a first down for the Dogs. They bring it back to the 36, so it's a 16-yard gain. Still a first down. Georgia 3rd down and 9 on the Ole Miss 35-yard line. We trail by 3 with 2 minutes to go in the game here in the Sugar Bowl. Snap back to Gunner. Steps up, now he throws for the corner, and it is incomplete at the 7-yard line. Flag comes in. He was trying to target the tight end, Lawson Lucky. They had man coverage with Gushikin on the far sideline. They're going to call pass interference on Ole Miss.
Pass interference. Defense number 14. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot includes an automatic first down.
Well, a big defensive mistake by the Rebels turns into a huge offensive possession for Georgia. That moves the ball to the red zone, 20-yard line, 1st and 10. A 3-point game. Ole Miss 34, Georgia 31, a minute 55 to play in regulation.
When throw the football at the one-on-one receiver when you have the physical mismatch like that. Good job, Gunner.
2 receivers to the left for Stockton. Bell slides in motion to the right, lines up behind Delp on the right side. We hand it to Bowens. He starts right, runs left, hurdles a man at the line of scrimmage, and then gets plowed under at the 18 or the 17-yard line for a 3-yard gain. Deshaun Womack, the LSU transfer, defensive end from Baltimore, Maryland, finished off Bowen with that tackle after he hurdled a guy at the line of scrimmage.
He hurdled Nick Kill. Nick Kill was like, where did he go?
Yes,
right over top of my head, bud.
Right over the top. You were right. Dogs on the Rebels 17, minute 24, and the clock moving. We're down 3. Snap to Gunner, pump fake to the right, throws for the end zone. Colby Young, another flag, incomplete in the end zone, but there's a flag at the 6. It's going to be a hold on Ole Miss's defense.
Hold on the double move. The pump fake sealed it. Good route that time from Colby Young. The secondary guy just had no choice but to hold on to him. That was 6 either way.
For the pass being thrown, holding defense number 14.
Yeah.
Penalties enforce half the distance to the goal line and includes an automatic first down.
That's 2 penalties on this possession on Kapina Gushikin, a transfer from Washington State, a senior from Hawaii. And that puts the ball inside the 10 at the 8.5 for Georgia. 1st and goal on the Ole Miss 8.5 with a minute 13 remaining in regulation. Georgia trails by 3.
Come on, Dogs. 6 right here. Let's go.
Bowens in the backfield with Stockton. 3 receivers right. It's empty to the left. Now we motion branch to the quarterback and then return motion to the right. Gunner's going to run it. Gunner 5, 4, 3, and tripped up there. Falls forward to the 3. And 1 player down for us and 1 player down for Ole Miss. Now we helped Monroe Freeling, who was laying on his back for an extra few seconds. And then Harris was slow to get up for Ole Miss. Now he's up again, and now we've got a timeout with 1:08 to go. Did Ole Miss call that timeout?
Well, they pointed like we called the timeout, but I didn't see our sideline.
Yeah, Ole Miss has 1 left, at least on what we're looking at. Georgia still has a full complement of 3 timeouts, so I guess Ole Miss called that time.
The referee just pointed the wrong direction there.
Dogs have the ball, 2nd and goal on the Rebel 3-yard line. The lead is 3 for the Rebels, 34-31. Dogs have 68 seconds in which to play. Can they bang it across the goal line and take the lead here inside the final minute of the 2026 Sugar Bowl? Georgia trying to punch a ticket to Arizona for next week's showdown in the Fiesta with the Miami Hurricanes. Ole Miss trying to prevent that. Dogs walk out of the huddle, up to the 3-yard line. Ball's on the far hash. We're moving to the right. 2 receivers to the left, and now Stockton will go under center. Bowens is in the backfield. Play clock at 8. Now back into the shotgun. Snap back to Stockton. Hand it to Bowens. Oh, they eat him up at the 6. Let's see if they give him forward progress. Nope, they're going to mark it at the 6. I thought maybe the 5. Lost 3 yards back to the 6. My goodness, there were white shirts everywhere. Timeout, Rebels, and that's all of them. Ole Miss has used all 3 of their timeouts. We've got 64 seconds still remaining on the clock here in the game.
I thought maybe for a second there, Gunner Stockton pulled his Houdini ball trick and didn't hand it off to Chauncey Bowens and was about to waltz into the end zone, but no luck.
Fourth quarter recap presented by Ag South, Ag Georgia, and Southwest Georgia Farm Credit, loans for land and farms, and still with 1:04 still to go. But here's how some of the numbers look so far in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss has outscored the Dogs 15-7. Total yardage 104 for the Rebels, 102 for the Dogs. Georgia trying to change that. We're 6 away from the end zone here. The Dogs have rushed for 26 in the period. Ole Miss has only rushed for 17 yards. And there's been 1 Georgia turnover in the fourth quarter. Here we go. 3rd and goal from the Ole Miss 6. with 1:04 to play. Ball's between the hash marks. Tolliver up with the right hand on the ball. Snaps it back in the shotgun to Gunner. Drops back to the 15. Looks in the end zone. He fires, and it's broken up over the back line of the end zone by the Rebels. Wyatt Williams knocked it away. Trying to go to Oscar Delp, the tight end. The senior from Cumming, Georgia, was prowling along that back line of the end zone. And we came up empty. So now we're going to try to tie the ball game with 59 seconds to go.
I like the idea of going to one of our big tight ends on the back line of the end zone in that scenario, but man, I'd love for that to have been an in-breaking route. You throw the ball at the crossbar of the goalpost and let your guy go up and get it.
24-yard field goal try by Peyton Woodring to tie the game. Ball's between the hash marks, kicking to the right. Snap, hold, kick, in the air, and good. Peyton Woodring, rock solid, ties the game with less than a minute to go in the Sugar Bowl. We're tied at 34. Dogs scoring play covered 58 yards. It took 12 plays, and we used 4 minutes and 38 seconds. 34-34. 56 seconds away from overtime. Ole Miss has a player down. I think he's suffering from a leg cramp possibly. A couple of trainers are working. That's the big guy again.
It's Xavier Harris again, yep.
6'8", 330. He's been in and out, on and off the sidelines tonight, but when he's been on the field, he's been quite effective. 56 seconds away from possible overtime here in the Sugar Bowl. Ole Miss will get the ball back. They don't have any timeouts as we go down to the Attorney Ken Nugent sidelines and DJ Shockley. Shock.
Hey, fellas, a lot of the communication down here with the defense as we're getting ready to possibly go back on the field was about the communication about not letting anything get behind them. Now, we can't play too soft, they said, but they also have to play some man coverage here, not allow him to get outside and move around and run. But we also got to remember this dude has hit 2 55 and 56-yard field goals, so can't play too soft and just give it up.
Yeah, Shock, he's got his career high tonight. Lucas Carnero, 2 from 50-plus. And as you said, one was a 55 and then one was a 56. And those are his career longs. And they have come tonight here in perfect conditions
and the
for
way
kicking.
I was about to say, in the way that he's kicked it, I'd say our 45 is the end zone, right? That's the goal line. We need to keep them away from our 45.
Peyton Woodring to kick it off. 56 seconds to go in regulation. And Peyton's kick will come down where? On the 1, inside the 1, bounce through the end zone for a touchback. Ole Miss has the football now. No timeouts, 56 seconds to go. And they'll start at their own 25-yard line. Winner to Arizona, the Fiesta Bowl. They keep playing for a national title. A loser, well, your season is done. It would only be the second loss for either of these teams, but that would be the end of the road. Trinidad Chambliss and Kewan Lacey in the backfield. Chambliss has thrown for 322 tonight, 29 of 41, a couple of touchdowns. Lacey's run for 93 yards. 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Rebels. Moving right to left. Handoff Lacey. Lacey bursts ahead for 5. And he's tackled on the 30 by Chris Cole, the linebacker from Salem, Virginia. 5-yard pickup. Clock moves, 41, 40. Ole Miss ready to snap. They do. Chambliss looking downfield. Not being pressured. Will throw off his back leg, and it's caught, and then we belt him, and it's not caught. It's incomplete. As Caden Lee just got blown up at the 50. He had it in his hands. He's still on the turf. Hit by Zion Branch, and the ball just came tumbling out, incomplete. As Lee took a lick at midfield. Clock stopped with 32 seconds to go. 34-34 is our score here in the Sugar Bowl.
Chambliss tried to get all of it on one play just about. And as you said, Scott, Zion Branch just with the physical contact knocking that ball loose from Caden Lee. Lee got his helmet right on the football too, man. Perfect form from Zion Branch.
Shot to the low back there. Looked like Caden Lee, 5'11", 180 from Kennesaw, Georgia. Still on the turf. He's being tended to. Man, that's got to hurt. Ole Miss will have it at the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up when play comes back in after the injury stoppage. 32 seconds to go. He's still sitting on the ground right there, just flanked by training staff. They're just watching and waiting on him to feel good enough to get up. And he finally does, his helmet off. And a slow walk to the sideline for the junior from Kennesaw, Georgia, Caden Lee. He took a good shot to the low back. Couldn't catch the football either. Insult to injury there. All right, the Rebels, no timeouts, 32 seconds, and 3rd and 5 coming up from their own 30 in a tie ball game. Center is up over the football. Bryson Sanders, a sophomore from Chattanooga, ready to snap it. Georgia's defense gets ready. Chambliss in the shotgun, Lacey to his right. We bring 5, now maybe 6. They throw a deep ball, and it's caught. Caught at the Georgia 45-yard line by Dejon Stribling. He got a step or two on our defender, and we tackle him at the 30.
We brought pressure. Stribling got behind our secondary.
40 yards on the pass play. He beat DeMello Jones, and Chambliss put it right on him. They're on the Georgia 30 just like that with 21 seconds to go. Chambliss drops back, will throw right side. Oh, almost intercepted on a diving effort at the 25 by Dalen Everett. Man, he almost got his hands on that thing. He did get his hands on it to break it up, but he almost caught it on a diving pick on the sideline.
Dalen drove off of that bench route like his life depended on it and almost picked that ball off.
16 seconds to go. Clock stopped with the pass incompletion. Ole Miss looking to the far side of the field to the sideline. 34-34. Winner advances in the playoffs. 2nd down and 10 on the Georgia 30. After a long 40-yard pass play to set this up. Snap it back. Chambliss will throw quickly and heaves it out of bounds. Had nowhere to go with it. He just got rid of it because there were red shirts bearing down on him. He throws it into the near sideline. He had a tight end over there and one other receiver. But he just slung it into the bench area out of bounds. That was Stribling, the other guy over there. So you're down to 13 seconds now. It's 3rd and 10 Rebels. They're already in Carnero's kicking range, in case you're wondering that. 3rd and 10 for Ole Miss. No timeouts and 13 seconds remain. Snap back. Chambliss to throw, and again, he just airmails it over the intended target, Stribling on the near sideline, and throws it 10 or 15 yards past him.
I think he's throwing it away on purpose just to kill the clock as much as possible because they didn't have any timeouts, and they already missed a fire drill once at the end of the first half trying to get their field goal unit on the field.
Why not just spike it? Well, here's the field goal unit and the possible game. Near hash, kicking left from 37.5 yards. 47-yard try by Lucas Carnero. Georgia's going to use a time. We have all 3 of ours still remaining. Wouldn't surprise me if we burn them all. Can you still do that, or is that a new rule? You can't go back in your timeouts.
Well, I don't think you can take your timeouts to Caesars for any coins for gambling later either. So use them.
9 seconds to go in regulation. 34-34 is our score. Lucas Carnero has the game in his hands, so to speak, or at least his right foot and his right leg. He's 2 for 2 tonight, and he's boomed a couple of 50-yarders plus, 55 and 56. He's 26 of 29 for the year. This is a 47-yard try for the lead with 9 seconds left. Snap, hold, kick, on the way, good. Ole Miss leads it by 3 with 6 seconds to play, 37-34. And what's left of the Dogs players out on the field kind of hobble back to the sideline now. 6 seconds to go. Carnero might be the MVP of this one, just from where he has been able to score. And then that kick, certainly a pressure-packed one to possibly send Ole Miss on to the Final Four in the next round of the college football playoffs. Six seconds to play. The scoring drive was 7 plays and 45 yards in 50 seconds. Well, we talked about the explosiveness of the Ole Miss offense, and they had the one explosive play on the drive of 40 yards. That's all it took to get into range. 6 of the 7 plays by Georgia's defense were pretty good.
Yes.
And then the one play that wasn't is the one that is costly.
Well, and they found Stribling, too. 7 catches, 122 yards. That's 2 receivers over 100 yards for Ole Miss tonight.
Here's Carnero's kick. This one will sail into the end zone, and Georgia's going to run it out deep in the bag. And now they throw it lateral to the far side of the field, and it's going to bounce out of bounds all the way across the field at the 1-yard line. Landon rolled in, ran it out 9 yards from the back of the end zone, ran to the 5, stopped and tried to throw it across the field, and it missed the target and bounced out of bounds at the 1, and the game is over. Ole Miss has won the 2026 Sugar Bowl 37-34 over the Bulldogs. And the Rebs are going wild right now as they advance to the Final Four. Georgia's season comes to an end right there with a 3-point loss to Ole Miss. So as we get to the Final Four, only one team has managed, of the teams that received the byes. We were talking about that before the game started. Only one of the teams that received the byes in the last 2 seasons has ever advanced to the next round, and that was Indiana with their walloping win of Alabama today.
I think the White Hat's trying to say something.
Is the game not over yet?
I think he's saying the game's not over. Georgia's players are returning to the sideline.
Jeff Cervinsky is the referee. Well, they've already run the stage out onto the field. Are they going to have to move that back off? Yeah, Georgia's players are coming back to the sideline. Ole Miss being pushed back to the sideline. Stages are still being set up. I don't think they've got the word yet. Nor have we. There has been no announcement. The clock says 0. Ole Miss has 39 points now on the scoreboard. Are they saying that was a safety? I thought the ball went out of bounds at the 1.
It did. It went out of bounds right in front of the pylon on the far side.
Well, they're looking at replays. I guess that's why they have cleared the field now and not declared it the game over yet. They're trying to determine the actual final score. On the video boards, they're showing a freeze frame with the ball kind of bouncing out of bounds on the far side after that lateral by Georgia on the kickoff. And they're reviewing the last play. So the last play is under review, brought to you by Pruitt Health, where family makes us stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Well, the game's going to be over either way, but they're trying to determine the all-important final score. Scoreboard says 39-34 at the moment as the officials confer with the replay booth here at the Superdome. So Georgia's season will end here in the Sugar Bowl for the 2nd straight year.
After review, the ruling of a field of a safety is confirmed. There'll be 2 points awarded to Ole Miss. The ball hit the pylon and there was 1 second remaining on the game clock. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 second. It'll be a free kick from the 20-yard line.
There you go. You got the instructions from Jeff Cervinsky of the Big Ten crew here, the referee. 1 second left. And Georgia has a free kick they have to deliver. And Ole Miss is up 39-34 now. They say the ball hit the pylon, and that would be a safety in favor of Ole Miss. They get the 2 points for that on that lateral play by Georgia. So Pete Golding and his team getting ready to advance to Arizona. They face the Miami Hurricanes next Thursday in Glendale, Arizona, in the Fiesta Bowl. And Indiana will be taking on Oregon in the other national semifinal. And those will be your final 4 teams in the college football playoffs. Georgia's season comes to an end tonight, even though there's still 1 second left on the clock, but we have to kick the ball away. 39-34, Ole Miss. Rebels with the go-ahead points from Lucas Carnero on his final field goal of the night to break a 34-all tie. And then Georgia only had 6 seconds to try to do something with the kick. It's either that or you take one play from scrimmage and try to do some razzle-dazzle on a 1st and 10 at your 25-yard line. And Georgia opted to do something, run the kickoff from deep out of the end zone. I mean, we were 9 yards deep in the end zone when we ran the kick out to the 5 and then threw a lateral across the field that went out of bounds, hit the pylon for a safety.
And Roldan was falling to the ground when he was trying to throw it, too. It was just a desperation heave. Valiant effort, though, for the Dogs, being down 10 with 9 minutes to go to get this thing back to a tie ball game and really give yourself a chance to win it inside the 5 at 1st and goal, and you can't put it in. That's going to be a sour taste for all of Bulldog fans the entire offseason.
1 second to go. Free kick. Georgia will opt to kick it off from a tee, and Peyton Woodring looks like he wants to try an onside kick here. Ole Miss has their recovery team up across the 30-yard line on the left end of the field. 1 second left. I mean, this would be the miracle of all miracles. And we roll it down the line, slow, spinning up across the 30 to the 31. Georgia, did we recover it? Did Georgia recover it?
We did.
Yeah, and then that's the end of it. The 1 second ticks off the clock, so it really didn't matter. Georgia recovered the kick, a rolling, spinning kick that almost went to the left sideline. And Georgia fell on the football as it went 11 yards. That was that Cash Jones? Well, they're going to put 1 more second back on the clock. No time goes off the clock on that play. Yep. So 1 more second. We'll clear the field a second time. They're bringing out the stages again. Up. Get off the field again, guys, down on the right end. Game is still not over. Georgia will have it at the 31-yard line, it looks like, in 1 play from scrimmage. Ole Miss kind of let us just recover the onside free kick. I mean, if they recover it, the game's over. Pete Golding's already been doused with a bucket of liquid, the head coach at Ole Miss.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 second. 1 second on the game clock.
This is kind of like the end of Blazing Saddles, isn't it? Hondo's, it's like a Mel Brooks movie here. The stage has to go on the Ole Miss sideline for a second time. After it came out from underneath the stadium here in the tunnels, they put it on the field twice, but they can't build it. They can't set it up. Georgia, 1 play from the 31, 1 second to go. Snap it to Gunner. Everybody's back deep just about. They're not even rushing anybody. Gunner's got all day to think about it. And he'll throw it to Colby, complete at the 36. He'll lateral it. We'll run to the near side. Cash Jones will lateral it back to Lawson Lucky at the 35. He'll throw it to Cash. We got to make some progress. Cash again, a lateral with a bounce at the 32. Georgia going backwards with the throw from Colby Young. Now to Lawson Lucky. Pitch it to Cash Jones. There's 2 flags down behind the play. Cash running out of bounds, throws it way across the field to Colby Young. The lateraling continues. Georgia's still alive with the ball at the 20. And now 2 Ole Miss players are going to make the final tackle. 2 flags on the field. Now, wait a minute. You got flags down. So you're going to have to clear the field again.
Block is declined by rule. The game is over.
There you go. They finally end it. Jeff Cervinsky says the blindside block Doesn't matter. It's done. Game over. Ole Miss a winner, 39-34. Now they can finally celebrate, and finally the stages come back out onto the field for the Ole Miss Rebels. Georgia heads to the locker room, and we will head into a break. Final score from the Sugar Bowl didn't go the Dogs' way tonight. Ole Miss 39, Georgia 34. Back for our post game on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Gunnar Stockton.
Well, beyond the earth, beyond all things that gave us birth, we'll navigate the seas of the sun. If God is throwing dice and Einstein doesn't mind the chance, we'll navigate the seas of the sun. Infinity runs deep, eternity that we can keep. We'll navigate the seas of the sun. Flowers of our souls, purple, blue, and gold refined to navigate the seas of the sun. So we know who we are, even in this frozen waste. We'll navigate the seas of the sun, living in this place, staring into space. We'll find.
Gators, quick throw. Mitchell makes the catch. He breaks away. 30, 25, 20. Veers inside. 10 breaks the tackle. 5 breaks another one. Touchdown!